Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be doing an unboxing, taking a first look at the LG Premier Pro Plus. This is a fairly new device for Straight Talk Wireless. So let's go ahead and get it started. Okay, so before I get started in this unboxing, I want to address a few comments that I get sometimes about unboxings and stuff like that. Now, when I do an unboxing on my channel, an unboxing is not a review, at least on my channel, okay? When I unbox a phone like this here, I look at the phone, I turn it on, I set it up, I don't use it for like a week and then finish the video. What you're seeing is what I'm seeing for the first time. So when it comes to me read off the specs, going through the settings and all that kind of stuff, it's just giving my first impressions of the video. And that's how I do with all my unboxings. I never unbox a phone and then a week later finish it up after I've used it for 3 or 4 or 5 days. So, yeah, you're seeing it for the first time that I am as well. So that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now this does work on the Verizon network, as you see right here, the Verizon map. And this is very similar to the LG Reflect, or the K51, if you will. Of course, with some minor differences and a much lower price tag. And I'll get into some of the specs here in a little bit. Open the flap up here. There's the device, some specs down here at the bottom. It does run Android 9 Pie, 6.1-inch HD Plus display, Bluetooth 5.0, and I'll get into more specs here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and open the box. Okay, so go ahead and pull the phone out and put it to the side, and we'll see what comes here in the box. Of course, Straight Talk, terms and conditions of service, quick start guide here, have your SIM ejection tool right there, as well as just your standard LG charging brick. And let's see if this is micro USB. It's actually USB Type-C, I do believe. And yeah, so USB Type-C charging here. And that's really all that comes to the box. So let's go ahead, put all this away, and look at the phone. Okay, so phone in hand, the first thing I want to hit on is the price. Now, at the time of this video, this phone's going for $79.99, which in my opinion is not a really bad price for what you're getting here in this phone. And on the front there, of course, 6.1-inch HD Plus full vision notch display, has a 3500 milliamp hour battery, and has a dual rear camera setup with a 13 megapixel main lens with a 5 megapixel ultra wide lens. It has 2 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of storage. So we'll go ahead and pull off this front plastic here. And also the one here on the back. Okay, so for the specs, this phone has an all metal design, of course, with a 2.5D arc glass here in the front. Has 6.1-inch HD Plus full vision display, so it's 720p. It's got a 13 megapixel wide angle with a 5 megapixel ultra wide here on the back, with an 8 megapixel front selfie camera up there in the form of the little notch as you see right there. Has a 3500 milliamp hour non-removable battery. And this phone runs the MediaTek Helio P22 processor, which is the same processor that was in the LG Reflect that I unboxed, and also the same storage. So really the only thing different with the specs as far as performance is the RAM going from 3 gigs in the Reflect down to 2 gigs here. And it's a fingerprint magnet, as you can see, pretty bad there. And just to look at the side-by-side here, here's the LG Reflect, here's the LG Premier Pro Plus, and it is bigger, of course, as you can see right there. And it does look different in the back, 3 cameras versus 2 cameras. But to be honest with you, they look a lot alike, and a lot of the specs are the same processors in both, the same internal storage at 32 gigs, rear mounted fingerprint scanner there, 3 gigabytes of RAM here, 2 gigabytes of RAM there, smaller design. And the phone is $79 versus $149. So yeah, we'll have to just kind of test them out side by side to see if spending double the money is actually even worth it or not. So yeah, anyway, On the right here is your power button. On top, we got a secondary microphone. On the left, we have your volume rocker up and down. It's spaced, which is really nice. Your assistance key down there as well. Single bottom firing speaker, Type-C charging, microphone, and 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Let's go ahead and boot this phone up. All right, LG, life's good. So that's the basic specs right there of the phone. Right now, I'll go ahead and get it all set up, show you how the phone looks, and I'll come right back. Okay, so we're all set up now and ready to go. Now, another question that I get a lot is why I don't show the setup process and how to do this and that. Well, mainly because it's self-explanatory. I mean, you just follow the directions, sign into your Gmail account if you have one, set up your fingerprint scanner if you have one or whatever, and you're done. So that's why I don't take the time to go through all of the setup process on these phones. So yeah, kind of want to throw that out there here as well, and all that kind of good stuff. Now, this phone does run Android 9 Pie. Highly doubtful it'll get anything more than that. These phones rarely ever do anyway. The fingerprint scanner is set up. Let's check that out now. And it does work. I mean, it's not the fastest fingerprint scanner in the world, but it does work. And it's very accurate whenever you do press the fingerprint scanner. Now here's just your standard LG home screen. Nice display. It looks nice, clear, and vibrant. As you can see right there, your home screen's here, Google over here, swipe up for all of your apps. And there's not much bloatware installed. Of course, Facebook's on everything nowadays. You got One Weather, all your Google stuff, files. FM radio is always nice to see. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump to the settings here for just a brief moment. And of course, you got your networking, internet, connected devices, Bluetooth, sharing, panel, file sharing, printing, stuff like that. Down here at display, home screen, you can do a home and app drawer or just a home. I prefer an app drawer on my phones personally. Wallpaper, icon shapes, Google Feed. You can turn that on or off if you so wish. You can change your grid from 4x4, 4x5, and so on and so forth. So good stuff there. Home screen lock, search, and all that kind of good stuff there. Comfort view. This phone does have night mode, so we'll turn night mode on right now, and that looks a whole lot better in my personal opinion. I just prefer night mode. Little laggy there for some reason, but maybe because it's trying to sit up in the background. I don't really know. Home touch buttons here. You got gestures and buttons, or buttons only. So by gestures and buttons, you have a little peel down there with a back button, which I just prefer the buttons only personally, and button combination, all that kind of good stuff there. And brightness, auto, screen timeout, menu view, blinking LED. So it does have an LED light up on top for notifications, which is always nice to see there as well. Lock screen and security. You have your screen lock, your pattern, PIN, password, and fingerprint, secure lock. And there's no face unlock here on this device. Extensions here for smart cleaning. So if it's probably got 50% of storage use already, and it's pretty close. 14.5 gigabytes used out of 32 gigs, giving you 17.4 gigs free. There we go again. And of course, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and you can see how much has already been used and what's free. So yeah, back out of there. And did that register? Okay. Knock on, knock off, gaming, and shortcuts there. Digital well-being, battery, storage. Like I said, 45% storage has already been used. So it does have an SD card slot though, which is over here on this side. This little slot right there. You know, that's where you put your SD card, your SIM card, which the SIM card's already pre-installed. But that's where it's at. And a little SIM ejection tool is what you use to open that up. System. You'll see this phone runs Android 9 Pie with December 1st, 2019 security patch. So it may get a security patch or two, but as far as getting Android 10, I highly doubt it here. Now, the phone dialer is going to be just your standard phone dialer. It looks really nice, though. I like the layout and how it looks. So, yeah, I mean, just your average LG device, $79.99 for this phone. We'll take a quick picture here or look into the cameras here and see what's going on in here. And we'll go ahead and, turn all this off and on. We have your regular mode here. This little button in the center goes to your wide angle. As you can see right there, you got portrait mode, video mode, AI cam, and more for food, flash jump cut, and YouTube live. So let's go back here to photo, and we will look at the settings here. Got your HDR mode, cheese shutter, full vision. Is a 13 megapixel camera. As you can see right there, you can full vision, 16:9, all kinds of resolutions there, and displays and all that kind of good stuff there. Got filters up here, flash and self timer. Take a quick picture here of the straight top box that it came in, and we'll just see how the photo comes out with just a quick shot. There we go. So we'll see how that looks here under just this normal lighting, and it come out pretty good. Zooming in here, you can see the text is nice and clear. So in regular good lighting like this, it's going to produce satisfactory photos. Not really sure about videos. I test that out and everything, all that kind of good stuff. And of course outside in good lighting is going to be a whole lot better as well. Now the front facing camera, it is a 5 megapixel camera, I do believe. We will double check that, or is it 8 megapixel, one of the two? And yeah, okay, 8 megapixel camera here in the front. You can choose different resolutions and stuff like that. So let's check out the video quality recording and see what it can record in. It's probably full 1080. Well, the front is full 1080, as you can see right there. And let's check the rear camera out here for the video. It's probably the same full 1080. And yeah, the same display front and rear, or the same video recording front and rear here on these. So like I say, just your standard camera, your standard LG device. It's all smudged up right now. Let's just give it a little wipe down here because it's a fingerprint magnet. But the phone looks good. It says it's got an all metal, real metal design. Not really sure what kind of glasses on the front here and all. But, I mean, for $79, I think it's a good deal. I mean, what do y'all think? Would you rather have a third camera on the LG Reflect with a bigger display and an extra gigabyte of RAM and spend almost double the money at $150 versus $80 here for this phone? A bit more compact, smaller, and everything. I mean, what do y'all think? $80 for this phone, and it's going to work okay. I mean, yes, it's running the outdated P22 processor from MediaTek, but for the price point, I really wouldn't expect more than that, to be honest. But anyway, that's just my unboxing and first thoughts there of the LG Premiere Pro Plus. Leave it down in the comment section below what y'all think. Would y'all buy this phone? If it's helpful and informative in any way, hit that like button. Subscribe if you ain't. I'd appreciate it. Hit that bell notifications. That'd be awesome. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.